Longreach cub escape. Set up.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the hook up for the cub Longreach. We've got 2 chains here. One of these onto D shackles onto the back of your car, and then we've got a standard off-road hitch which drops onto your tow bar. When you're driving along, your spare wheel, your jockey wheel, you need to take it off. Okay, so this undoes, and you take the jockey wheel all off, and I usually throw it in my boot. On the back here as well, you also have your controls, which will hook into the back of your car for your electric brakes, and an Anderson plug. Before you take off, you need to make sure the handbrake is down, and then when you stop and you're unhitching, make sure your handbrake is on, nice and tight. It's also advisable to chock your rear wheels, because the handbrake doesn't always hold it if it's on much of an angle. Okay, so now we'll look at unhitching this from the car, and then we'll start to setting it up. Stop. Alright, so now we're going to take the trailer off the car. Make sure the jockey wheel's down as far as you can go. That gives you as much lift as possible, especially if you've got a lifted car. That'll allow you to lift it up as high as possible when you're taking it off. All I'm going to do is wind the jockey wheel up, and as it goes up, this handle here, you'll be able to pull, and that'll release the trailer from the car. There we go. That's off of the car now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the car so that we can level out the trailer and start setting it up. Done. Right, so we've pulled up and we've unhitched the camper. Now we're going to level the camper out. So drop the jockey wheel down until you've got the camper as level as possible. That's about level. So you can see here, the camper's now level. This will make it easier to set up. The brakes are on, and we're just going to chock the back wheels before we do the rest of the setup. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to put down our feet at the rear of the camper. There's a red handle here. You'll pull that out towards you, and the legs will come out. They lock into place, and then there's a handle to wind. So the handle for the rear of the car is in with the fridge on the side. We'll get the handle and wind our feet down and level out the camper. You can use this to lift up the camper and level it off, depending if it's on a bit of a slope. The more level the camper is, the better the camper is going to be set up. So you can see there now, that's nice and tight, and that's all locked in. I'll do the other side, which is exactly the same. Okay, this is now getting ready to actually open up the camper. We're going to undo the rear wheel, which is this one here, and the latch, and we're going to open this right the way up, making sure it is out of the way of the side of the camper, all the way out of the way. Then the rear door, which goes into the camper, where you can pack, we've got to make sure there is one spring done up. So one spring done up. When you're traveling, you'll have 2, and then when you go to open, you're going to have 1. Right, then we're going to go around and we're going to undo all of our latches all the way around the camper. Charlie's going to do the other side for us while we do this side. We're going to undo all the latches. Okay, so all the latches are now undone on both sides. What we're going to do is we're going to unwind our strap until we see a stop on the strap. So this unwinds. Make sure it doesn't get tangled up. Keep it as straight as possible. There's quite a few. Okay, you'll see there, make sure it's not tangled up. And you're all the way till it gets to the stop sign. Eventually. Okay, here we go, here's the stop sign. We're gonna go 3 winds past that stop sign. 3 winds past the stop sign on the seatbelt. The seatbelt's going to be untangled, and then we're going to lift up the lid off the camper. So if you want to move back, now this is on hydraulic lifts, so it's not hard to do. You can pretty much do it with one hand, and you'll see it'll go up, and you're just pushing it. That seatbelt is going to stop it halfway. This is where it's important. You've got your feet down, and you've got your brakes on. So here we go. This is the scary part.
So I want to be behind it.
And you'll see there, the strap has stopped it. Now all we're going to do is keep unwinding until the camper is all the way down on the ground. And stop it. Yep. Okay, keep winding. Go, go, go. We've unwound it now. Now we're going to make sure there's slack on this. As we set up the tent on the inside, this seat belt will get tighter because the tent gets bigger. If it's too loose, it'll blow off. And then you just use one of your posts from the patio area to push it back on. If it's also too tight, you'll find you'll struggle to get the tent set up properly when you're actually trying to put the posts on the inside. So we'll just loosen it off a little bit. Make sure there's a bit of slack there. And now the camper's out, and now we're ready to adjust our feet on our hard floor. So these are really simple. Just undo it and tighten it back up. This is also another way you can adjust the levelness of the camper is by lifting it up a little bit. What that does is make sure that there's not too much weight back against the camper. Pause. Okay, if you haven't been doing this, now you can get in the camper. If you haven't been doing this and it's late at night, your lights will come on. You can turn your lights on here, and there's some more lights underneath here, which you can turn on. So if you're like us and you get into campsite late, there's some lights on the inside to help you do this. This is about the trickiest part, and this is about pushing out the tent, setting it up ready to use. So the first thing we do is we loosen off these clips on the end here, and we push this out. We push it out as far as we can go, just by hand, and then I do up these clips. Okay. Okay, so we've got our back pole up now. This side one, we're going to push up, and we're going to make it level with our door. We'll do up our little clip at the back. That's that there. These ones you don't touch. That pole shouldn't come down. That pole should stay nice and taut. You don't need to undo that to put it away or to put it back up again. Once these are out and it's nice and tight, you need to readjust it, push it out a little bit more, and that'll readjust it. We've then got 2 black poles. These will be beside the bed. Now these will go at the end here. What I do is I do it on the inside and then push it up a little bit. Both poles. Here's the other one on the inside. Put it on the inside, push it up a little bit. That's your front door. You can wind that up or you can have it down. You've also got different windows that you can get in and out of or use. And then the end here towards the bed. There's 2 more posts here. These goes at the end of the bed, and I literally just jump on the bed and put them up. Stop there. Yep. So I've put the posts in. I've just tightened that up so that's pushed up as far as it will go. Those posts are in, nice and tight. Back here for your bed, you've got personal lights, little LED lights, bed reading lights. You've got a USB, and you've also got your windows. When your windows They just clip up. You've got a night light, you've got a fly screen, and then you've got normal caravan type windows that can push open as well. So you can have them either way, open or closed, and give you fresh air. Stop. So underneath the bed is a bit of storage area. Now we leave a bit of stuff in there for everyone to use. There's some fans, sleeping bags, you might get cold, platters, cups, mats for the ground, spare towels, some spare kitchen stuff. Use whatever you want from there. We're happy for you guys to use it. Just put it back in. There's also some more power cords and a power board. When the camper's on 240 volts, so if it's plugged in at a campsite on 240 volt, you'll have 240 volt in the camper and on the outside with the one plugged into the outside. It'll also be charging the battery while it's plugged into 240. Okay, stop. Ready? Okay, in here you've got some little 240 volt electric heaters, a dust busted, I don't know if it works though, and that's your hot water service. Your hot water service should turn on automatically. It's probably about the most problematic thing we've got in the camper, but that's your hot water service. If you're not sure if it's working, have a look here, see if you can hear it. There's a pressure valve on there as well, but other than that that's the barbecue instruction. That's your seat. So your gazebo is your next thing to set up. All your pipes are kept in here, in this bag. I've got my trusty assistant here, Charlie. He's going to help set this up. First thing I'm going to do is lay out the different posts. There's only 2 different types of posts, so it makes it a little bit easier, or 3 different types of posts. It makes it a little bit easier.
And
We have
2 small ones.
Yeah, we have our posts with the screws on the end. Make sure you don't lose them. This one with the washer is for this far right corner. The actual eyelet's a bit worn out, so I've got washers there for that one. Then we've got our ones with Velcro on it. So these are the ones that will go against the camper. So they'll be ready to go. And then we have a few shorter ones that go down towards the end. So we'll get them laid out and then we'll show you how to set it up. Okay, now we're moving on to the outside. Hopefully it's not too windy. This is difficult if it's windy, but if it's not windy, it's not too hard. The inside's all stretched out. You're gonna walk around the outside and put all the little clips down. They're all around the camper. Make sure they're all plugged in. All nice and tight. Now to set up the gazebo, the patio area at the front, it stays attached. So this will be attached when you unfold it, and then when you fold this camper back up, you just tuck it back in. It doesn't get unzipped. The sides come out, so there's some sides that go on here. They don't stay on, but the actual camper stays on. The hardest part is getting your first square. So we build a square. Once we've got our square built, then it gets easier. You get your post with your wing nuts on it, and you put them into your holes. Now, if you can be careful with that, these will get a bit of wear and tear on them. That it's also from the wind, if it's windy, and we do up our bolt. That's our very first thing. Now, especially if it's windy, it's important you do these up not tight, but at least so there's no movement in the actual material. Otherwise, these do wish around, and then that's what causes damage. So we'll get our next one. We'll get our next one in. So always work from the back of the camper forward. The front of the camper is a little bit different. Again, try to be careful here. Don't poke it through the material. Find the hole. Do up our wing nut. Now, if you do have a second set of hands, it is a lot easier because someone can hold these things for you. Where's my assistant, Charlie?
I'm doing all the
Okay. So I'm going to get my Velcro ones. So that's these ones here. I need 2 of them, and I need one with a double clip end. the one with a double clip end. All right, and this is going to build our first square. So I'll get my Velcro, flatten it out so it's easier to get stuck on. And up in the corner here, there's a patch of Velcro. You'll see it up here. So I'm going to put it onto that, making sure it's on the beam. You can reach it and touch it, that's good. And then I'm going to clip this on to the end. Pull it out a little bit, but don't make it too tight yet. Now this is where it gets easier if you've got a second set of hands. Someone can hold that there while you do your other one to make the square. So Charlie, can you just hold this for me quickly?
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to hold that. That's what the kids are good for. I'm going to get my second Velcro. I'm bleeding a little bit. That's all right. And it's all the way up the top. And again, there's a post on the inside. You've got to try and get it on that post. That'll make it stronger. Put this handle down and release it. Push it out. This one, I do the Velcro up in the middle. While it's low, because when it's up, I can't reach it. Charlie. And then I'm going to get my one with my 2 clips. I'm going to build my first square. So I'm going to clip it onto here, which is my post coming out of the camper. And then onto this one. I'm going to lift it up a little bit.
Sometimes that happens.
There we go. And he's undoing the feet. So the feet's out. So you're starting to get a bit of height on there. And then adjust this out. So stretch it out. And there we go. We've got our first square. Okay? Don't worry about making it too tight at this stage, because you'll go back and tighten all this up and get it all perfect once you've done the rest. So my next one, I'm going to get a post with a nut. Onto my next one. Now this is our one. Charlie, could you grab me the one with the washers, please?
This one uses duct tape instead of a metal ring.
Yeah, this one's got a bit of wear on it. That's just from the wind.
The wind blew the pole and the pole ripped.
So you can see here, if you've got a second set of hands, it does make it a lot easier.
You've said that.
Okay, washer on the bottom, through the hole, washer on top, nut on top. And then I'm going to get a post with 2 clippies. So that one's done up. Okay. And then I've got my clip, and then I've got my one with a Velcro. So I get one with the Velcro. Right, so I'm going to get Charlie to hold that. And I'm going to get Charlie to hold this one here. This one here. Right, put my Velcro up. It's right on the corner here, near the kitchen. This one. Make sure your handle's down. Release that off. Just stretch it out a little bit. Stop there, please. And then I'm going to put my 2 clippies on across. This is where I mean by stretching it out. Hold up.
Feet down.
Right. This gets tighter when this gets straightened up. So here, this one goes right up. Last one. So last pole in the middle, and this one we'll use 2 for the end. So one here. One from my other corner. Charlie's going to pass it to me. And then the other poles, Charlie. Okay, here there's 2 short poles and 1 long one. The long one is going to go the width of the camper. So there's one side to the other. Like that. And I've got my 2 short poles. And I'm going to try to hold that just there. It's just starting to rain. Flip it up to here. There. Stretch it out a little bit. Again. Solid end up the top there. And then here. And then this leg generally fits on the inside of the fridge.
And that just makes it a bit tighter.
Now, this is basically set up. So now what we're going to do is we'll go back and we'll tighten up all the poles. So just hand tight, just make sure that they're stretched out. So the material's tight. Do up my clips here, make sure they're all done up, and make sure the posts are all up high enough. Okay, so now we've done the outside setup, the inside setup, and your patio area set up. Now we're going to do our kitchen. Kitchen comes undone. This goes down. We're going to unlock this, and it just slides out. You will feel this will lock into place. It goes as far as it can, and then you're going to lock it into place. There is a leg underneath with a little wing nut. And at the end here, we also have our shelf.
It's very sharp on the edges.
That's right, yep.
Like you need to like it up.
There we go.
That's you need to slide it up and then down.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, to actually get all the camper working, we need to plug in the water. We need to plug in the water and the gas. Just in the side here, there is your pipes for your water and your gas, and there's an on and off switch. Okay, the water and the gas is underneath here. So we've got hot and cold water. There's a little bit of red tape on there for hot, a little bit of tape on there for cold, and the gas is a simple slide in, slide out. There we go. And then all you do is turn this on, and that'll put the water pump on, and turn your gas on. You've got your sink with hot and cold water. Right, you got your kitchen sink, hot and cold water. Tap will pop up, goes down. Should be on. There should be some water in there. There you go.
Brain.
And then you got your stove here, 4 burner. Good for just little pots and pans, hot water and so forth. On the back here, you've got some drawers. You've got crockery, plates, mozzie stuff, coffee cups, some coffee bits and pieces. Use whatever it is that you want to use. At the front is a lot of your cooking stuff, knives and forks, and barbecue things, knives, whisks, a few things like that. Fire extinguisher here in this corner, and some cleaner. That's your pipe for your sink. That goes on underneath, just there, and you go to use it. Pause. Okay, so this is the rear side of the camper. This is where all the business stuff is. I'll walk you from the back to the front, or the middle to the front. This is the hot water service air vent. If the hot water's on, this vent needs to come off, it just pops off. This is your shower socket. So there's a water tap in the front container there. That turns in and that gives you a little shower hose. These are your 2 water tanks. The keys go in, you push them in, you turn this around, these come off, each hold 100 litres. This is your charging port. So this port is a 15 amp. In the cupboard there is 2 extension cords. One's a 15 ampere, and if you don't have 15 amp, this is a conversion cord for you. So it will convert 15 to 10 amp. If you don't have an area where you've got 15 amp access. In here is all your electrical stuff and the backup. What we've got is we've got our fuse box here. Now this one, sometimes some of these fuses do blow. It's one of the first things to check is if the lights or something isn't working, is to check these fuses. There's heaps of spare fuses here, and there's more up the top there. This will tell you as well, so put that back on. This will also tell you what's happening with the power. So at the moment this is charging, and also a water meter. So the tanks are about half full at the moment. This is your hot water service. When you've got 240, it'll run off the 240. So you can put it on to 60 or put it on to 70. If it's not working, one of the things to check is water pressure. Make sure you run your taps to make sure there's water in the hot water service and water coming out of the tap. That just makes sure that it's actually heating something up. In this cupboard here, there's lots of little bits and pieces for you. Cables for your solar, Anderson plugs, spare gas cables, batteries, nuts and bolts and stuff like that in there. This tub has your sides for the front for the canopy, your power cords, a lock for the front, your tie downs. You'll need to tie down if it's windy. Okay, you have to tie it down if it's windy. And hose to fill up the water. Tent pegs. Extension cords and lights for the outside as well, which is just here. So these go in the gazebo area. That one plugs in and that gives you lights on the outside. They all run off 12 volt, so even if you don't have 240, you can still use it. Now with solar, there's a solar panel in there and there's Anderson plug. That actually plugs in just underneath here. There is an Anderson plug socket. Where is it? Just here. Now the solar actually plugs into that Anderson, and that will also charge the batteries. There's 2 batteries in the camper. Right, couple of hints and tips for the general use of the camper. Make sure you use your tie downs for your gazebo here, for your patio area. Otherwise it will blow around over night time or blow around and these poles will come out and you'll end up damaging it. At the back here of the kitchen where your water turns on, your power and your water turns on for your kitchen, turn that off of a night time. It'll save a bit of power and also stop the water pump running randomly during the night and waking you up. With the strap here at the front, the strap over the camper, again, tighten it up a little bit in the sense of make sure it's not loose. Otherwise, again, if it is windy, that will blow around of a night time and make life a bit uncomfortable. You got 2 gas bottles here at the front. One's plumbed into the actual camper, which uses for the stove and the hot water if you're not on 240. The other one is the one I use for the gas barbecue. One should last 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I've never used more than that. With your sides are in the front there. If it is windy, they are good to put on. They just Velcro. Velcro here. You'll see the Velcro on the actual sides, and then you'll see the Velcro on the actual camper. When you bring the camper back, don't worry about making it too clean and tidy. As long as it's not dirty, I don't mind. You just got to make sure that all your stuff's out of it and that you're not leaving rubbish around. Don't worry about cleaning the outside unless you've gotten it really muddy. And we can go through that when you're on a return and dropping it off. But I expect the camper to be used, and you know, we go out camping and expect it to come back with a bit of dust, and it will have dust on it when you pick it up. Other than that, always feel free to give us a call. Whoever's hired it's always got my number. You can always call me. I can run you through any issues and try hopefully help you out. Thanks. Okay, holiday's over, time to pack up. It's basically a reverse of what you did to set the camper up. First thing we always do is make sure everything's put away from around the camper. We load up the inside of the camper, so all the stretchers or chairs, we can put them on the inside of the camper. With the bed, you can put things on top of the bed. Just make sure it's below the height of the hard part of the camper. Otherwise, the camper won't compress down. So let's pack up. Kitchen, we're going to turn off our water, unplug our water. Water will come out. There will be pressure in the system. Unplug our gas. Make sure our gas bottle's off at the actual gas bottle. Gently tuck these pipes in. You don't want to kink them. We've put away our kitchen and our stove. We've put our lights away. We're going to put our post here away. That clips up. Make sure the little socket is actually pointing like up against the kitchen. We're going to unlock the lock. Slide the kitchen in. It should slide in nice and easy, and you shouldn't feel any resistance. We're going to lock it again. We're going to shut that over. Oh, actually, we're going to make sure our shelf is put away. That's the other thing.
Make sure you don't touch the edges, they're really sharp.
Yep, Charlie, our safety person. Shut that over. Our fridge here, we're going to make sure that's all shut up as well. Make sure our cover's shut over for the water pipes. We're going to undo all of the material around the camper. Okay, to pack out the inside of the camper, there's only a couple of posts to do. So we'll take down these black ones, just twist them off, lock them away, and put them down the side of the bed. Twist it off, put it down the side of the bed. Then we're going to do these posts here. We're going to undo them. Make sure they are undone when you go to fold this up. Okay, so undo. So it starts falling down. This comes down. Okay, and then we'll do our posts up towards the end of the bed as well. Okay, so all we've done, taken the black posts off, undone the latches here. These stay done up, and the ends stay done up. We've just taken the posts down. Everything else is packed away in here. You can have things here in the floor. They will not get in the way as long as they are no higher than the hard bit of the side. Okay, hard bit of the side got to be below. Okay, now we'll go on the outside and we'll fold this thing up. Okay, so we're going to take the gazebo down before we fold the camper up. Just a reverse of what we did to set it up. All we're going to do, undo the posts, unclip them.
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy. The only trick with this, you come in here, come here, is with the Velcro post here. So with the Velcro post, with the Velcro posts, don't pull them off of the side. Pull them gently to the side and pull them off to the side. If you pull them straight out, you'll pull the Velcro off the end of the posts. Okay? All the posts just get collapsed down, and then we'll put them in the bag and put them away again. Right, let's go, let's put this away. Okay, so you put the gazebo down at the front. Now we're going to be ready to fold this back up. This is probably the thing you need to be the most careful with, because it's the thing that most things can go wrong with. We're going to go around the camper and undo all of the straps, all the clips around the camper, and make sure that the canvas is tucked in. Okay, so we'll get someone to walk all the way around.
Charlie.
Make sure all undone and all tucked in. Okay, now we've done that, we're going to wind up the camper. This is the thing you need to be most careful with, and you need to take the time with, because there's lots of different pinch points and lots of different bits where the strap can also catch winding it up. So we're going to do it a little bit at a time, and we're going to check each time we do a bit to make sure nothing's going wrong. We've undone the posts inside the camper. The ones at the end there, make sure they're undone and actually unlatched. We haven't done the end post and we haven't done the top post. They stay done up, they fold up as we fold it in. The wheel's away, all the sides are undone, so we're going to start winding. This is not hard to do, it's not taxing, it's got a crank on it. We're going to make sure it's nice and straight, and the first thing we'll see is that the camper is starting to pull down. This is the thing you want to look for. This way. Come here. And look up that way. And stand back again. Right, so here you'll see the middle post and the front post is bending downwards, as in it's coming down with the strap. Okay? And about now, soon, we'll start seeing the floor is starting to lift off. Usually when I get just to that stop sign, that magical stop sign on the strap, is when I first stop. Here we go. You can see the camper coming up at the end, and I can see the stop sign starting to come. Okay. Now this is where I'm going to stop. I'm going to tuck everything in. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to tuck the gazebo up into the camper. It doesn't need to be folded. Okay. The side here, we're going to tuck this one in. This is one of the pinch points. So this is where the pole is bending. We need to make sure the canvas isn't caught in that pole, isn't caught on any of these brackets here. So here, this pinch point here, the canvas is unhooked. It's inside the rubber seal, all right? And there's no canvas caught on the metal post here. That's all tucked in. We'll come around the other side. Again, another pinch point is here. We'll make sure that the canvas isn't caught on the pinch point in there. Make sure that's all tucked in, and make sure this part is coming down straight, which it looks like it is. So now I'm right to start winding again. So here we go. I'm going to get it to that first bar, drops into the actual camper. There we go. Alright, this is where I'm going to do another walk around and make sure that's all tucked in. So here it is. Gazebo's all tucked in nicely. The poles here, they're inside the camper nice and straight. No canvas on the pinch point. All of that's all nicely tucked in. Same for this side. This is all tucked in. There's no canvas on the pinch point. No canvas on the pinch point. All the black plastic is clear. Charlie's going to wind the rest of it for us. Not too fast. And then this is where we're going to get it. We're going to get it to just before it's closed and make sure all the canvas is tucked in. Again, if you've got two sets of hands, it'll be a lot quicker. Touch more, Charlie. Couple more. Couple more. Okay, stop there. So we're just about tucked in. Just about close the lid. We're going to make sure all this canvas is tucked in. One's not done up here. There's no canvas here on the joins. That's where all your dust is going to get in. It's all tucked in. That looks good. That looks good. Last couple of winds. Stop there, tuck it in. Make sure it's tucked in. Yep, last one. Right, we're not going to do the wind too tight, okay, because it will bend it. We can use these latches to actually pull the lid straight. So I'll do the ones at the front here. You can even undo it and redo it. Pull them up. Yep, go around the side. And then got all my latches. And then put my feet down. Like that. I'm going to make sure all my doors are closed, kitchen's closed, everything's shut down. And we're going to put our feet up. So we're going to put our spring. So both springs are on that back door now.
That's the back of the house.
Yeah, we'll put the bag in there. That wheel goes in. See that up. Done. Charlie's doing up the wheel.
Filming it. What?
Alright, so when they're all the way up, we're going to take this out. We're going to pull that out, push the leg up, and that's ready to go. Both sides, and then the handle goes. Alright, last couple hints and tips for packing away the camper. Take your time and make sure you've undone all the canvas. And make sure that you do the roll, you're folding it up slowly so that you're not getting into canvas core. Once you've rolled it up, and you've got your latches on, just ease the tension off of this winder, just so that doesn't stay too tight. Make sure your gas is off, make sure your power is unconnected, and make sure your doors are closed, and then make sure your back's done so the spare wheel's tucked away. Spare wheel's tucked away, and that's all locked off. And then you're ready to hitch it back up and off you go again.